What's going on, y'all? My name is Rob McCarty. I'm one of the co-founders of Illust. We today are going to have a really exciting day as part of our Road to Miami Art Week series of workshops. We're one of the collaborators on Balanced Forces, and which is an AR exhibition that's been touring around different locations around the world. And today we're going to be focusing on how creators can generate income via Web3. So we've all heard about digital art. We've all heard about NFTs, certainly. But what we really want to go into today is kind of demystify the technology a bit more. It's nuanced. It's also another buzzword like AR, Web3, but it's actually, when we kind of start to dive into the technology, it's a lot easier than it seems. And there's also ways to participate as an artist without it looking, cheap or maybe scammy, which is often a common sentiment when people think about the Web3 arena. And so, let me go ahead and share my screen, and we'll dive right into it. Okay, cool. So, as I mentioned, this is part of kind of our Road to Miami Art Week. For many of you, you're familiar, but for those who are joining us that are coming in, we've been running workshops every week and information sessions about kind of the AR landscape using tools such as illust, which is our software, ways and strategies you can kind of get out there in social media, different AI tools for AR content generation. And we're really excited about Miami. We have a partnership with Bitbasel. They're a venue that's going to be at the Sagamore Hotel December 4th to the 7th. And so we're going to be doing a meetup. We're going to be doing walking tours. We're going to have folks jumping in. And along the way, we actually plan on having, we're going to have actually an art drop on a NFT digital art marketplace. So today we're going to be talking more about that. And Sven is actually going to be one of our guest hosts, which I'll introduce in a little bit. But just as like a quick recap for the last show in New York, and before that, Port Moody. This has really made a big footprint, and working with local, for example, Crystal with the public arts team over at the Port Moody group, and then also with we had at the UN's International Day of Peace, we had the works all represented in Bryant Park, and partnered with a local business to be able to have a home for the art walk. And we're just really kind of using the medium of AR to share our works and about contemporary issues that plague the planet. And in this time in Miami, we're going to be talking about ocean conservation, as there's actually going to be a whole day devoted to scientists from that sphere going to the Bitbasel event. So we're going to be on the beach, South Beach. So might as well be talking about things that pertain to the ocean right next door. One of our biggest resources that is being a little bit mismanaged. But anyhow, Crystal, JBR, Sven, I'm gonna hold on you until we go into the Web3 stuff. But Crystal or JBR, want to say a couple words before we carry on?
I think you covered a lot of it, Rob, but good morning, everyone. I'm over here in Port Moody. I think one of the things that's been so beautiful about this project coming together is just the collaboration and finding new opportunities for artists and collaborations with other companies and businesses, like Rob was mentioning. And so we're kind of always on the lookout for what's going to be next, because this sort of is just turned into this magically. We weren't expecting to go here from the Port Moody one. But it just makes a lot of sense. And also being able to explore this platform, and Rob and his team are constantly making changes and updates to it. And I think it's really awesome that we're able to offer these educational sessions as well. So I think we'll put out a form at some point, just asking like if there's anything that maybe artists are wanting us to include, or, once we wrap with Miami, we'll find out a little bit more about, hey, what can we do to improve? Because we're always wanting to do that. And also just, anything else that we're missing out that maybe we could incorporate in these education sessions. But the illust space seems to have a ton of tutorials already. So there's just a lot of education. I think it's really important to educate artists and empower ourselves, especially with things that we're learning about today, so we can all feel like we're in charge of our business and our careers. So thanks so much, everyone, for being here.
Thanks, Crystal. Hey, JBR.
Hi, Rob. Hi, Sven. Hey, Crystal, it's great to see. It's good to see everybody here. Man, it's so wonderful to attend these workshops and be in a room filled with like-minded folks. I think everyone here has said that what needs to be said about this open call, but specifically to the artists, I think that um, as a curator for Code Blue, I think what I want to see is work that hits uh, with honesty and imagination. I think pieces that tap into our relationships with the ocean, perhaps. It can be fragile, bold, it can be angry, surreal, futuristic, whatever it is, but just make sure there's a little bit of honesty behind it, and, in your interpretation of what that is. And whether it's, AR, I'm sorry, whether it's 3D or a static image or video, um, or even a hybrid. I'm looking to see a vision behind the work. So make sure you take risks, artists. I know that you do. Push your medium. Don't be afraid to reach out to any one of us if you have questions about the platform at all. Please, we're here to help. And yeah, the works that have already been submitted are pretty amazing and inspirational. So yeah, let's go.
Thank you so much, JBR. And yeah, there's also, I mean, just like kind of last little bit about Miami. There are multiple different styles that you can submit your work for. We just asked that creators submit up to 2 works. So 1 or 2 works is totally cool. But yeah, we have different kind of ways that we're going to arrange the art walk. So if you have a still, that's great. If you have video content, that's great. 3D immersive, that's great. If it's an audio, if it's text, the whole 9 yards. So we're gonna arrange based upon different categories. So it kind of influences the walk.
And
But
I'm going to ask you, I don't mean to
yeah,
interrupt you, Rob, but
you're good.
if there's a link to the call to artists because its submissions are due like next week, if
Yeah.
anyone can drop that link into the chat, that would be really awesome, I think, for artists.
Yeah, that'd be great. I have a QR code at the very end of the presentation, but if any of y'all can drop it in the side chat, that'd be helpful now too. But yeah, so moving into some of the content for today. So last week we had some guests that came on. We had Longshot, we had Russ, we had Web3 Dave come in, share some stories about social media, about how they're leveraging the algorithm to get their art out to the world. And so we want to kind of switch gears this week to go into more like Web3 strategies for artists. Yeah, how can we generate income from our artwork that we're creating through Web3 technology, through you know, quote unquote crypto art, whatever whatever comment your way you want to phrase it. So today we're gonna be going through kind of like the basics. Some of this might be pretty remedial, but we're gonna be going through some of the basics of digital art, NFTs. We're gonna review different marketplaces, and then for Balance Forces, we're actually gonna be doing a collaborative collection that we're going to be selling on one of the art marketplaces. And so Sven is going to go through more of the nitty gritty of setting up a wallet and also about the nuances of the platform that we're going to be using since he is that's the sphere of influence. And yeah, we then we'll have time for some Q&A at the end. But so diving right into it, NFTs. Basically, an NFT is a way to be able to create scarcity out of something that would seem to be not very scarce. So previously we had pictures, we had digital art that we created on the internet. We created with Photoshop, and as you could kind of you'd hear people say, "Oh, well, I could just copy and paste it." So it didn't really have a lot of value because there wasn't scarcity tied into it. So with a technology like smart contracts, an NFT is a really fancy way of saying that we've been able to create this item to be scarce by using technology such as a smart contract, which basically defines that who is the owner of that specific piece. It also imbues it with more provenance, and provenance is just a fancy way of saying authenticity. So I can verify the authenticity of the art piece. So up until this point, just like as like a context, before 2021, Tim, I think he's in the audience here, my business partner. We were having conversations about how like 60% of artwork was technically fake or misattributed or was actually not necessarily it was proctored. So there was a huge issue in the art market about just the fact that artwork was not necessarily what it was saying that it really was. So provenance is, you'd see like on the back of the art piece, you'd see like what collections it was a part of, who was collecting the artwork. That was the only way that we could attribute value to the artwork itself. So with NFTs, this has kind of helped be able to organize all that data and create a standard. And so again, the name just kind of stuck. It's definitely a tough word to kind of work with, but it basically gives it an identity for your digital art piece. So and I'm happy to like Q&A at the end. It is a little bit dense today, and I apologize ahead of time since we're going into like more of the technical functionality. But nonetheless, it's kind of the basics for kind of understanding the world. So more about this. The way that the data is stored, you can store the image on the blockchain if you want. You can also store it into a JSON file, which is basically like a reference to all of the data and all the attributes of the art piece. So with our studio, with like our AR Creator Studio, some of these concepts are actually like baked into when you're setting up your AR scene. So certain things like name, description, the media that you use, all of those are actually organized based upon how those fit into a smart car, into an NFT. So if you decide when we bring minting back into the studio, that those will be things that it would be an auto, check the box and you're already set up to mint the word. And then the metadata, which is just basically these attributes about the art piece, those live on these different systems such as decentralized storage, which is, you've probably heard of IPFS, interplanetary file storage, pretty epic name. ARweave. But these are basically distributed networks. So your artwork doesn't, say, for example, with Amazon servers, that's a single point of failure. If Amazon servers aren't working or there's a big data breach and things are lost, you lose your artwork. On platforms like IPFS, ARweave, they're distributed. That means you're basically able to retrieve whatever you store. We give the option in our studio as well to side or use a file path to IPFS or Pinata, which is basically a pinning service for decentralized storage. So you don't actually have to store your artwork on our platforms too. So that's a little note. I haven't really made that super public, but it is something you can do within the studio. And yeah, again, kind of going on here, we have a little bit more dense material, but like smart contract standards. The basic idea is that you have ERC 721, ERC 1155, which are basically just different ways that you can ascribe value to your digital art. You could ascribe value to it by making it the only version of the digital art, and that's forever. It's just that one of one, which is an ERC 721 token contract, which basically means one for one. This is the thing that I'm ascribing value to. I say that because 1155 is we call it like additions. So say if you had like a pair of sneakers, it's the same kind of sneaker, but you could do different additions of that sneaker. So this basically gives you flexibility in how you want to orchestrate your collection or how you're selling your digital art. Yeah, all of this goes back to saying that we're all like the whole reason why this gained so much opportunity in 2021, 2022, and so much buzz was because previously we didn't have systems to be able to have collective agreement about the value of something that was digital. So digital art didn't have a way to be priced or be able to be sold. You might go into Turbo Squid just for like selling a model, but you couldn't sell your artwork as fine artwork would. And so that's what got us really excited. some other things that got us really excited too was the idea of secondary market royalties, which I'll talk about in just a little bit. But so that should cover like most of like the basics, at least for the technical side. Again, apologies, but I feel like we couldn't have this conversation without kind of going through some of those elements. But so you probably heard of OpenSea. This is the largest marketplace for digital collectibles. There's definitely, I mean, I'm gonna go in this in kind of a nonpartisan way, but there's different marketplaces have different focuses. In the beginning, OpenSea had one focus. Now they're going a different way with their focus, but you can kind of look at them as kind of like the open bazaar for like digital collectibles. Not necessarily tailored to a specific way, but they've also launched a suite of different tools that encourages the concept of flipping, which is basically people who are speculating on the value of an asset, which kind of moves away from art. But I guess you could say art could be a speculative asset as well. But they definitely stripped out secondary market royalties, which was one of the things.
I think Rob froze. There he is.
Oh, did I get cut out?
Yeah, you got stuck in the matrix.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll kind of blitz through this. Rarible is another one. They are art focused, but they initially started with multiple chains. Magic Eden was kind of initially in Solana, but then they went out to multiple marketplaces. And then Looks Rare, again, community driven marketplace with rewards for traders. A lot of those kind of marketplaces are more speculative, like driven by speculation, less driven by the art side of it. So you're going to see more like, would you say, quote unquote, degens or like basically traders, folks who are kind of looking, they're just following the money kind of a thing versus following necessarily the art. And we'll go into more like our ecosystem kind of areas where you can start building value as an artist, but just gotta pay or nod to the different platforms. So then you also have gaming and metaverse marketplaces, Central Land, Immutable X, Axie Marketplace. So, all right. What now? Oh, did I freeze again?
Yeah, your voice is glitching just like the picture you have up.
Oh no.
You're
I'm so sorry.
you're good now.
Okay. Hey Jordan.
This is awesome. Hi, everybody.
It's technology.
I know, right?
It's because he's apologized so much about how thick this stuff is. So it's like
Yeah.
just really layering in there.
So what's interesting is what he's talking about, though, with like the different marketplaces and how NFTs have really just become the whole like new stock exchange. It's not even about, right? I love that. So thank you for that, Rob. I hope you're back now.
I think I am. Okay. So yeah, so going into what's important for what we're working on. I mean, those other platforms, I'm not gonna dock them. I think like they've done a great job of reaching a larger audience. But now that the ecosystem's getting more sophisticated, there's now a home for we found who wants to support art and digital art and who wants to focus on the trading components of the ecosystem. So Super Rare has been around since the beginning. They've done a great job. They're invite only, I believe, and they're mostly exclusively like Ethereum. They're a great place, but it is very much kind of a I would say it's a little bit more exclusive. It's kind of like more like it's hard to enter in and be able to like make a name. It's maybe less participatory for folks that are just kind of getting it.
Super rare.
Yeah, super rare.
And it's great tech. So you have to get invited.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
and it's yeah, and it's not like it's really expensive work. Super, super rare work, right? It's like Rebecca Rose style work, yeah.
I'm on there. I'm on there.
Yep. And yeah, Nifty Gateway was really known for like curated drops with established creators. That was was definitely a hot for a bit. It was really kind of focused on that, like the hype beast culture, the kind of hype beast culture overlap with digital art. So you'd see like a drop with Steve Aoki, and then you'd see a drop with like I don't know, a more like reputable artist. So it's really interesting. But we're really excited about kind of these two platforms, Object and then also Verse. Just want to shout them out. Object is what Sven's going to be going into. It's where we're going to be doing our drop. It's on the Tezos blockchain. Um, but and then Verse, I just wanted to give them a shout out because I thought that they just really have a really sleek platform. It's really great for galleries and gallerists who are looking to kind of build a collection for the artists that they represent. But I think that they do a good job of just representing the art world in this like crossover into digital art. But yeah, and again, this is all about your style. It's about your vibe. Like, what are you like? Different marketplaces fit with different people and what they're trying to curate. Don't let me tell you you can't go into one, or like I have my own opinions about things, but they don't really matter. So go have fun. Go like check it out, see what else is out there. But for this conversation, for this drop for Miami, we're going to be going into the Tezos ecosystem, and in by way of Object. So I want to introduce Sven. He man with no needs to be introduced. He's been the community lead with Balance Forces, curator for 23 artists, just all around great guy and 3D creator himself. So Sven, if you want to kind of take the reins from here on out, and hopefully yeah, my glitchiness doesn't extend over to your feed as well. That yeah, you can kind of share a bit more about what we have plans and getting started with a wallet.
Yeah, thanks, Rob, and welcome everybody to our today's session. And now it's my pleasure to provide you a little bit some information about Object, why we have chosen Object for the Miami show. Is like it's easy to handle, it's easy to use in my eyes, and it provides everything an artist needs. For example, to get into, to offer the NFTs easily and without any problems, and you won't get overwhelmed by all the like OpenSea. Me personally, I started on OpenSea when I entered the Web3 market in 2021. And it was one of the easiest ways to, with the lazy minting and all that stuff, and then you don't have any problems over there. And then like 2 years or 1 year ago, they changed everything. They, for example, they killed my main collection totally. So I have to have a look for other platforms now. My money PFP, they are all minted on Rarible, for example. But I'm working a lot on Object, especially for my 23 artist collective. Every collection is built on Object on the Tezos blockchain. Yeah, I think I'm gonna share you my screen. I hope it works. It's the first time I'm sharing screen with my iPad. So wait a minute. 1 minute. Oop.
No worries.
No, not there. Not this one. It's there. I want to go there. So here we go. Everything's what started. You need a wallet, and there are some wallets available. Me personally, I'm using the Kukai wallet, like the GVR. She's eager or very concentrated on other one. It's called Temple, I guess. But today I'm gonna show you how you set up your own wallet on Kukai. It's easy. You're gonna set up a wallet in like 5 minutes, whatever. All you need is just go into your browser and say wallet.kukai.app, and then
Ben, are you sharing your screen right now?
I'm sharing it. Yeah, no.
I'm not seeing anything. Is anyone else seeing anything? No, we're not seeing anything.
Wait.
Yep, no worries.
I didn't see it either.
In the meantime, Quasar, those are some sweet shades, dude.
Those are dope, dude. What's up, quick? Phone call, fool.
Yeah, love it.
We see your screen now, Sven.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I can't change that to fuck off.
You'll have to translate for us.
Yeah.
You can see it now.
Yay. Yes.
Yeah, we're rocking.
To draw, and so that's the homepage from Kukai. When you open your browser, wallet.kukai.app, and then you see this screen. It's if you have already have a wallet on Kukai, you import it over here in the right top corner, import wallet. But we wanna create a new one. Just click on create new wallet. Then, and that's almost the only thing. You always get a seed phrase. Copy the seed phrase and print it out, for example.
Not supposed to show us that part, bro.
Folder.
Yeah.
Screenshot.
No, I won't open this wallet, so I will use my own then later.
Oh my God.
So real quick,
Real quick, just like to really underscore what's going on here, because for those of us who are familiar with the space, we're kind of laughing about this, but this is basically handing your password to your bank account. So what Sven is showing us, because he's creating a wallet right now on the fly, he's probably going to burn it afterwards because he actually showed this phrase publicly. So this is supposed to be the most like intimate details about your account, because if you have this information, you can actually log into someone's wallet and drain all of their funds. So just keep this incredibly secret. We actually wrote our seed phrase on the back of our articles of incorporation, which are in our legal offices team, like in their offices. So it is something that you really want to keep safe. But just as a heads up, because we are making a little bit light of it.
Yeah, and you need the seed phrase for recovering your own wallet. So that's it, because just copy it, print it out, put it in a folder where it's safe, and or in a protected folder on your computer, for example. And that's almost everything you have to do. Then the page asks you for word 3, for example, of the seed phrase. Just put it in there. And the next step will be you got just verified, and yeah, and that's definitely it is. You got your own wallet right now with these 4 steps, and then we can start over. I want to change my screen, how it looks like. Oh, where it is. Then you have your own Kukai wallet like mine. I've set up some more, for example, for my personal use and for the 23 artists and whatever. But we gonna just use one. You see, I'm a rich guy with 143 tethers. So I have nothing to hide, because everything you can see on the tether on the blockchain explorer anyway. So I can show you my wallet over here without any problems. And that's how it looks like. You got on the left side your tethers, how the value of it, the activity, and all that stuff, and all the different. You see my 23 artists, for example, and the different collections I have bought, or I have my own NFTs published, for example. So that's definitely this you need before you're gonna start on object. What you need is some tethers in your wallet, because there are always some fees you have to pay. It's not a lot. It's like 1 or 2 tethers, for example. So I recommend using, for example, Coinbase, where you can buy Tezos and then just transfer it to your wallet on Kukai or Temple or whatever system or app you're using. That's is. Now we're coming to object. As I said before, we have chosen object for our next Balanced Forces collection. We gonna do it because, as I said, I'm doing or setting up many collections for my 23 artists over there, and I'm responsible for everything because I just want to make clear for my 23 artists that everybody's right in time and all informations you're gonna need to set up the NFTs are right in time too, and they have the right format to use, and every pictures or files or you're gonna need are on my computer, and I gonna mint them centrally from my side. So that's what we wanna do is for the Balanced Forces collection too. Like you're gonna or the artists who wanna participate in that collection one will receive an email from me when you have to deliver the informations, like the most of them we have, like the title and the description for each artwork, and yeah, but I'm gonna send all the participants an email. When you open object.com, just log in, and then it asks if you want to log in with Google or with Twitter. But as we have set up a own Tezos wallet, just click on Tezos wallet. I've chosen Kukai. I use my browser. Then it brings me back to the Kukai wallet. Wait a minute or a few seconds. I'm gonna connect. I have to put in my password on my own. You won't see it, so don't worry.
So is it recommended for artists to have multiple wallets? Do you think it's good to open a new one if people haven't been working with Tezos before, just to keep things simple?
No, it depends. I know some artists who are creating digital artwork or digital paintings, for example, and the same artist was creating or working with photography. So and they set up their own collections with their own wallets. For one for the photography and one for the digital artworks or digital paintings, and you can separate it, or you can just we're gonna talk about this later. You're just gonna create different collections for it. So, but some they use different wallets for the themes, for example.
Got it.
So I sign in. Doesn't work. Good. Good. Oh, with the right. Still the wrong password. Good. My brain is old.
And the Nia says,
Oh
like,
my god, what's wrong with you?
while you're doing that,
Welcome to my existence, Sven. Welcome to my existence, bro. Hey, don't worry about it. Number one, we're getting old, and number two, Mercury and like 5 other freaking planets are in alignment right now. So take that into account.
Yeah,
Crazy. I tested it yesterday and it worked perfectly today.
no worries, no worries. Well, while you're doing that, just like a couple like highlights. So we're doing the drop on object. As Sven had mentioned, he's actually going to be working with everyone to really bring your artwork onto the platform. So if you haven't worked with Web3 ever before, like the intention here is to kind of help you kind of get over the finish line. So I appreciate what you're saying to me. I think it is definitely very overwhelming. But I think there's also a lot of us here who kind of gone through the ringer in the early days and can also support. So if you do have questions, please tee them up in the classroom of our school, and we'll do our best.
Especially in the school too, and make sure I check over there because if people need help with anything or questions, they can. I'm a wealth of knowledge with this stuff too. So this
Yeah.
drop is going to be on Tezos or this arrow for Miami.
Yeah.
Oh,
be on
maybe that's submit something different because the one that I was going to submit was going to be it's already on transient.
Got it.
No, I'm in, I think.
Yes, you are. You're is.
So I see my inside little icon over there in the right top corner.
Yep.
Here we go. You could just open it. What you do is like when you created the first account on object, there's not a bunny. It's like a general icon you're gonna receive from object, but you can change everything over here with the click on profile. Yep. And then you can put in your name, for example, like edit. The profile picture, your name, a description, a website, all you know from other platforms. So it's definitely almost the same everywhere. So it's not that complicated to change all the information you need. What we're gonna do now is like creating our first collection. So you've got a screen from the token on the top left corner. Before you mint a token, I recommend to first set up your first collection. Like I said before, for me, for example, I'm creating different themes, like for like, how you wanna say it, like digital bunnies or something like more art things or photographies, and I separate all these different things or different artworks in different collections. So it's easy to set up over here. Just you can choose a photo within. I recommend always square formats, for example. Just upload it here, put a name in it, a small description, and the contract type. That's the most important for the first steps. There are two contract types available. It's the Object Factory Default. It's the general wallet or the general contract you're using from Object. And there you can do like the normal minting stuff. If you want to do open editions, you have to choose the other one. And that's exactly your own contract that always stays with your collection you're creating right now. Normally for the most of the artworks, you can use the Object Factory Default contract. But if you want to do, as I said, open edition is like you don't mint artworks in the first step, but the collectors, they do. It's open edition. You're gonna enter a starting date and an end date for example, 7 days, and in this period of time, people come in and mint and collect how many, like up to 10 editions. I think it's possible during this time. So, but you can sell only one, but you also can sell like 1,000 editions from one NFT. But normally I'm gonna use just the default contract. Yeah, that's how easy it is to set up a collection by itself. Now I'm gonna show you how to set up a token, an NFT. Here you see all the collections. Like I got the Freaky Monsters and whatever, and some of my 22 artists collections. You have to choose a collection you set up before. Like when I choose on an island, it's one of the 22 artist collections. It's the same like you set up a collection, just uploading a picture of your artwork. If you're gonna wanna sell your videos, you need two files, like the video file, like MP4 for example, and a thumbnail file. I recommend here the same, like use square formats for the thumbnails because it just looks better in the overview of your collection. Landscape or portrait files are like there's always black on the left, on the right side. So I prefer like square formats for the thumbnail. And I see no, I don't have any MP4s, I think. So because when you've uploaded MP4 file, then another row appears over above title, then you can upload a thumbnail. You give a small title, a description, and ask for it's if it's something unhealthy like nudity or pornography and all that stuff, it's needed. If it contains flashing hazards, and you can add text. It's like definitely it's more like hashtags you can use. The hashtags or your text, you're like when I type in balance forces, for example, it's always together and in one word. The text we're using here, people can search for it on the object website. So you can balance forces or just put in like digital art. Or AR, and so on and so on. Creators is not that important for you right now because you are the one who is creating the NFT. If you're gonna do like I do with the 23 artists or for the balance forces, I take care of the minting process, but I can choose like the artists who I've invited before as collaborators. That's what I gonna do with you too. Everybody who wants to participate in this collection get an invitation from me on object. You have to accept it, and then I can choose you here, like as creator or as artist. I don't know if you're familiar with the different licenses. Normally, yes. I recommend here in this case always no license, all rights reserved. If you chose like the CC BYSA, it's the most unprotected license you're giving away because people then can download your artwork and use it for commercial things. They can, for example, make some changes or build derivatives with your art. And that's not what the artist wants. I guess the other ones are like CCO or CC-BY. They are a little bit more or less protected by your own rights, and they have to ask for using it for commercial issues, whatever, or if they can make any changes with it. Attributes is more something like, for example, PFP projects gonna use, like then you can like fill in the color of hair, for example, like blonde, or and add more, like eyes are blue. Or you can use it if you want to describe your artwork more. like the technique you use, or the apps you have used for creating your artwork, like working with Photoshop or with illust or with whatever meshy, then you can fill in whatever you want here. As I said before, it's like these attributes are more or less interesting for PFP projects when it comes to rarity issues, like if you want to sell or publish a more exclusive item, you put in the PFP or PFP NFT with hair is golden, and there are only like from 1,000 NFTs you're minting, there are only 2 who have golden hair or whatever, black eyes, and it shows the rarity. But it was important like 3 years ago, but I don't think it's so important right now, and especially for artists, it's not that important. What you have to think about at the first step when you set up a NFT or want to mint a NFT is the number or the quantity of editions. You can sell it as one-on-one, as it says here, and it goes up to 10,000, as Rob has explained before. Most you can sell one-on-one. It's only one of a kind, or you can sell like 10 or 15 or 20. Or up to 10 or 20 editions of one artwork. Most of the artists I know, they are just selling like one-on-ones or like 10 of 10. It's some of my artists, of the 23 artists, they offer up to 50 editions. But and some point it's more interesting when we minted a collection, you can open up an open edition. It's easier, and you don't have to take care of it. I don't know if you're familiar to royalties. The royalty percentage, like you can see here, it's like always default, it's 10%. You can switch it down to 0.1% or up to 25%. That's the amount of percent, or the value of percentage you're gonna get if your NFT is sold on a secondary market. That means somebody collects your NFT and offers it for example, the collector bought it for 10 or 20 tezos, and then offers it again for 30 or 50 or whatever tezos. You get that percentage, like he's offering for 20. You put in 10%, or he sell it on the secondary market for 20 tezos. You're gonna receive automatically 2 tezos. It's going directly into your wallet, and that's it that's it. Then just click continue and wait a few seconds, and your art work is shown then in your in your collection profile. You'll see some funny stuff and some dark stuff. You will see everything you created here, all the different collections. Like I did. Maybe you know this one with the 3D file. It was shown in Port Moody.
So there is a good question about if you have a 3D file, how do you display it? So it looks like they use Model Viewer. So if you do have a 3D file, you can just upload the GLD.
Yeah, you just upload a GLD file, and that's it.
Perfect.
It included textures and whatever. It's automatically for. Wait a minute, I go back to my collection. The preview file you see here, it's automatically generated from object with a small icon on the
Nice.
right corner that it's a 3D file.
So there is something to be aware of is that if you are using some of our AR preview tools, so like for example the material editor or video textures or things like that, Model Viewer does not support that functionality, but it's something that our system does support. So the view might look different in Model Viewer than what you've configured in our AR Studio, just because Model Viewer is a little bit less sophisticated when it comes to those types of elements. So I might recommend that you actually just record a video of your 3D artwork in situ at the space and use that as what you want to mint. If it deviates quite significantly from what the original 3D model looks like. So just a food for thought.
Yeah, that's definitely it is what it is. Wait, if you wanna, I don't have an just minted item, unfortunately. If you just upload it or create it, NFT and into your collection, it's not listed until you sell it. And as you can see here, you just click on list and say how many editions you want to offer online for what price. You can make a start date, or you can, if you're a generous person, you can split yourself with someone else. You love, you like, whatever. If he has something to do with the artwork or not, but you can do the split. Like I'm gonna do it with my 23 artists that the artists receive on the primary sales. The first time when an item gets sold, the artist collects 90%, and the artists have decided from in my collective, but I receive 10% for my work.
Nice. Awesome. Hey Sven, I know that we're running a little bit low on time.
Okay. I'm done.
Sorry, was that?
I'm okay. I'm done so far. So everything is roughly explained. There are more options possible on object, but it's going too deep, I think.
Nice. Yeah. So I guess as far as the presentation, is it cool if we switch over to my screen? Or is there more that you want to share from yours?
No, I'm okay. I'm that's all.
Awesome. Well, Sven, thank you so much for going through all of that. That was great. And as we mentioned, you all are not alone in this process. We're here to help support. The biggest thing that we wanted to kind of like take away from this is that so we went through this. I'll share the deck as well, which kind of like gives a little bit more insights into the Tezos network and all that good stuff. But let's see. Here's like some processes for being able to sell your art. As for minting, but what I wanted to share is the homework for this week, because this is the important part, because we're actually going to help with the actual minting process. So all we need is really for you to create your first Web3 wallet on Tezos using either Kukai or Temple wallet. And we'll actually, from the Balance Forces side, we'll send you one Tezos, so you have a little bit of crypto in your wallet, so you can. And I mean, don't spend it all in one place. I think it's like less than $1, but it's one Tezos, so you don't have to go out on the open market and buy it. It is pretty easy to go into an exchange now, but it does take a little bit of time to go through the KYC, which is called Know Your Customer, or the AML for anti-money laundering. Basically, they do a background check when you're setting up a crypto wallet to make sure you're not part of the mafia or cartel or anything like that. But we'll send you one Tezos to kind of get you started. And all you need to do for Balance Forces is just share with us what your wallet address is. Not your private keys, just your public wallet address. And from there, if you want to go for gold, if you can purchase an NFT of any kind, one Tezos might work for some things. But if you do, take a photo of it, post it to social, tag us, or add it to the school account. And we'll like and share and all of that. So, but the most important thing for Balance Forces Miami is share with us your wallet address. And that way you can participate. And then we'll do all the nitty gritty when it comes to minting. Also, as far as what the splits look like for Balance Forces and you as the creator, We're going to do, so 80% of all the revenue from the NFT drop or digital art drop will be going to you as the creator. The Balance Forces will take 20% as a exhibition partner. So it's opt-in as well. You don't need to participate in the NFT drop or the digital art drop for your work to be presented at Balance Forces and or to be selected. But if you would like, that's kind of what we're working with. And I think again with all these things, the more we kind of band together and share what's going on, the more we can make a splash on social with the collectors. And then last but not least, here's the QR code for the open call. So feel free to take a photo or scan that. We also have it on our school account. It's one of the pinned messages about the about what's coming on. But let me just make it even easier here. I'm going to drop it in the chat so that you have it on hand. Yeah, we're close to 50 submissions now for the open call. I'm really excited. Like some really incredible works of art have come through. Yeah, this has been phenomenal. I have one other thing that I want to share after I close out the recording, and then we'll do a little bit of Q&A if there is time. But yeah, I just want to thank you all for coming into this workshop, the Web3 strategies and selling digital art through Web3. Again, my name is Rob McCarty, and we look forward to seeing you potentially in Miami, and the world is yours. Have a good one, y'all. So, thanks for that. I want to mention that we still have 2 more days. It's a super quick contest, but we like basically this cannabis company is looking into AR. They've never played around with AR before. And so we were able to get a little bit of a budget, like a creative budget for an art contest. So basically, I mentioned it in school, but it's basically they're putting up $500 in cash for the coolest design around in AR around their can. They're like, and the name of the can is definitely it's definitely interesting, but bong water. Doesn't sound the most attractive, but it's kind of like a novelty gift that they're putting around. But anyways, it's a little design budget. It's outside of Balance Forces and things like that. I just wanted to mention because submissions close on Friday for whatever you want to submit. I saw a couple cool models, but I'd be remiss not to mention that since it is a cash prize. And then
Down in the comments.
Yeah.
Here's let's see. I think I have.
I probably won't, but I know Kush is in here, but I'm gonna send it over to Kush.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. I'll let me see where I'll have to. Oh, it's in school. I think I put it.
Ways are looking like way too cold for school right now, dude. Come on, bro.
Exactly. Getting ready for Miami.
Pretty, bro. Let's go. Salad.
But yeah, I saw a couple of other questions. While things were going through, does anyone have any questions for Sven? Or around there?
I've seen Miss Gugoluzzi, Samantha. She asked something like where they're gonna send the Tezos address to. My idea is like the open call ends on 26, so the curation team with Crystal and JBR, we're gonna meet something around 27, 28, I guess, when we decide about the artworks participating in Miami. And directly after this, we're gonna send out mostly mainly me. I'm gonna send out the email to all the participants who want to use the collection draw-on object, with all the instructions, like what I need, what you have to decide. It's almost the same, Samantha, like we do with the 23 artists. The schedule is very tight because we want to open up the collection on Tezos on December 4th, the same time when we start the collection, the artwork walk in Miami. So it has to be simultaneously. So until I set a deadline December 2nd for me when every artwork has to be sent to me.
Yes. I am. Oh gosh, what was I gonna say? Man, totally escaped me. Sorry about that.
I just wanted to say too, like it does feel overwhelming. I know a lot of people said that, and I think because Sven tried to just go through, but if you think about it, it's sort of like a big identifier for your art piece, right? As much information as we can get about that. So as you go through it, you'll start to be like, oh yeah, this makes sense of what I'm putting here. Oh yeah, okay, maybe I'll do 4 editions of this. It's like if you do a print and you want to only have 4 available ever. So you'll start to get familiar with it. And I think, it is a great opportunity to do it with Balanced Forces for the Miami show. If you've never done it before, like take the chance to put your work in with us and just see how it goes. And also it'll become easier the more you do it. And I think a lot of people are on different blockchains and wallets and stuff. So if you follow the process and go through and ask questions on School, we have a great support network of artists who are very familiar. So I would definitely take the opportunity to be part of it.
Yeah, my DMs are always open for you. You know where you can reach me on School or on Twitter. And it's the same like I do with the 23 artists at the same time. Every artist has many questions, but as Chris has said, the more you use it, the easier it is. And Object is one of the most easiest platforms you can use as an artist, so not to get too deep into the blockchain issues or whatever.
Nice. Well, yeah, I think this is definitely, I mean, where the rubber meets the pavement, as close to it as it gets. So, I'm excited to see this come to life. I'm excited to also open this side of the whole, and like the whole Web3 component has always been really important to us, but this is now going to be the first time that we actually introduce it into the Balanced Forces offering. And, our goal is for you as artists to be able to make money from your artwork. Like that's the end. That's the end goal. And the strategies and the people that we talk to and the things that we're doing is all aimed at that initiative. And it is our first time doing it, so there are going to be a lot of lessons, a lot of things that we're learning along the way. So I really appreciate you all with your patience that you've given us as we've been kind of uncovering this along the way. But I am really excited to see it really just kind of kick this one off, because it is also, it's not just hey, I made it into an NFT, it's going to be worth millions of dollars. Like that used to be the fact in 2021, but things were also like, it was imaginary world. And like, so that the air has come out of the balloon for digital art, but it's been in the best way possible, because it's created a correction to the industry, which was overly exuberant before. So now the people who are in it are really in it for the right reasons. And so it's less about speculation and more about the artwork, which I think is a correction that we needed since from the 22 highs that we had. But that being said, it's a growth, and it's a journey. So, I think as we continue on, I mean, seeing some of the faces that are even in this call right now, I mean, I've seen some of y'all just absolutely crush it and do some really incredible things. So, we're all at different walks along this journey, but I think ultimately this is going to be a way of the future. I mean, actually, Miami Basel, like the actual Basel show, is now they actually are launching this year a whole digital art component. So who knows? In future years, maybe we work towards getting involved with that. So it's going to be an exciting time for digital art. It's not going anywhere, and I think this is the first stepping stones to get there. Awesome. Well, I guess in the meantime, that's the homework for the week. The open call closes on the 26th. So definitely check out 26th is the date, 11:59 p.m. It's Wednesday, and then Friday the 28th. Curation team can be going through all the works. So, yep. That's what you're out.
I was gonna submit is already on transient. So should I submit something new and different, like but similar? like with this kind of theme and stuff?
It depends on if you want to participate in the drop, then yes, I would say so. But you don't have to participate in the drop on object for you to participate in the
Actually,
show.
cool 3D pieces that I made, but I'm not schooled enough yet on how to like place them and light them correctly. Like I'm busy with like this new job and all that kind of stuff, and I can get back to it. But I'm like, but I could really use a hand with something like that. If you ever had the time to like, or have anybody that wants to like help me out for like an hour or something one day, knock it out. Because like I have these really cool like pieces that are on 3D that I made, and actually in 3D with meshy, that are like what we call it, mermaids and stuff, and it's like really cool like cyberpunk heart that I want them to float around, but I don't know how to like make it work. That's
Yeah. Well, if did
Did
you
you
make a
did you make a post in school about this?
yeah,
Nicole?
I knew you'd all do
Yeah.
that.
yeah
And then I'll send some friends over that and just like maybe I'll pin the post for maybe a day or so that it gets a little bit more visibility so it doesn't get lost in the feed.
Okay, I'll get over there today because I'm off work today actually. So
Nice. Well, hey, I really appreciate y'all jumping in, and once again, Sven, thank you so much for your time and sharing with us your private keys to your wallet, so that we can be on the inside. And yeah, as always, appreciate JBR and Crystal for your hard work, and yeah, looking forward to it. Next week is submission day, so we'll see you on the next one. The final episode is going to be one for the books, so I'm excited to bring on our guests for that one. But have a good rest of your week, y'all.
Boom, ding, dong.